Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live, where we just kind of hang out, talk about yarn and uh, yarn designs, just check in with everybody, and just kind of have a good social time. If you're looking for video tutorials on how to crochet or beginning knitting, please check one of my many other hundreds of videos on this channel. But right now, we're going to just enjoy being together and just catch up with everybody. So I am so glad to be here, guys. As you can tell, I'm not at home. I'm back in the Carolinas, and I would say enjoying the warm weather, but it was very cold. It's been below freezing even here. So it's winter is arriving. The 21st will be in 6 days. So hey, the weather's doing what it's supposed to do, I guess. Well, Angie, good morning. Thanks for being here in the chat with us, and Kelly. So good to have you and hear about your $30 Santa hats you're selling. Good for you, my friend. Good, good, good. And she wants to know, how many skeins of yarn did it take to crochet the Abigail blanket? I used 2 of the recommended yarn. I didn't use all of both cakes, but I did purchase 2 and used a good bit of them. Let's see. We have Kathy Evans in our chat, and Susan, and Alana. So glad that you guys could be here. And Wanda Gordon, we'll catch up when you get back. So glad that you could check in with us. Thank you. Um, and Kelly says, I don't ever crochet anything for myself. It's always for my inventory. It's okay to crochet something for yourself every once in a while, but I totally get that. And I know crocheting for your inventory can also give you a very productive feeling. Archer and Ace, thank you for your donation there for the $20 on the super chat. And I also wanted to thank Heather. Thank you so much. You two ladies have put us to the $40 point now towards our next donation. And the next donation will be going to the Shriners Hospital for the Children. It's an organization we feel I feel very strongly about. And also the other that we alternate between is the Rancho 3M. It's an orphanage and a Christian school. So if those are something that you're interested in maybe supporting on your own, please feel free to check them out online. I can vouch personally for both of those organizations. Michelle says, good morning from a cold but sunny Helena, Montana. Wow. I bet it is chilly out there. And Phil, he's our truck driver, crocheter extraordinaire. Says, greetings from around St. Cloud, Minnesota. Rainy and 40 degrees here, but headed to, is it Piston, PA? Or I wonder if that's Pittsburgh. Well, anyway, I'm not sure of all the names of the towns, but I know you know better than I would. And he's got some Popeyes French fries in his in your trailer. That is so cool. And then home to New York on Monday. Well, Phil, have a safe drive while you're out there. I understand that Sunday we're expecting what's the equivalent of a nor'easter off the coast of South Carolina, where I am. So all the weathermen are getting all excited about this big storm that's coming. So do be careful. I know last week there were some storms out there, but you're on the road with that big tractor trailer. Thank you for the way you serve. But merry holidays and Christmas to you too, Archer and Ace. And just also, I know many of you are probably getting near the end of Hanukkah, our Jewish friends. So I wanted to wish you all a happy Hanukkah. I know it's been a trying year, but do wish you all the best as well. And Heather says, good morning. I would love to watch live, but I'm swamped at work, preparing for our nativity play this Sunday. Wow. Well, I hope that goes well, Heather. Yeah, we're going to be having one of those at the church that I attend down here in South Carolina. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's always very touching, very sweet with the little kids. So anyway, Cynthia Burke, good morning to you. And Kelly's thinking about putting a little Christmas bell on the Santa hat. Yeah, you can do that, or a pom-pom. I do have a pom-pom tutorial. If you look at the long stocking cap or long stocking hat on my channel, you can learn how to make the pom pom. I go through that step by step. So if that's something you're looking for, Kelly, check it out. And Love to Craft, waving right back at you. And Freaky Geek, it's good to have you with us. Um, yeah, I haven't gotten a picture yet, Kelly, from you for the Gmail. So you may want to try again. Um, she says, yeah, definitely Freaky Geek. Yeah, if you get something weird back from me, it probably wasn't my email. Yeah, that's pretty much right. Um, and thank you, Hannah, for being there with us and for being so encouraging to everybody. Um, yeah, I don't have a Gmail address. Maybe that's the part of it. My email is me.com. It's a Macintosh address. So you may want to try that again. I do have my email in the video description below, so you can double check to see if you can check that, Kelly. Oh, we have Connie in the chat today and Teresa from a very cold Utah. Oh, yeah. And well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Kelly. And Tammy from Oregon. We have Sabina says, looking forward to another live. Oh, thank you for your kind comment from Germany. Wow. Thank you so much for your encouragement there. We all need it, don't we? Um, and Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor. So glad to have you with us. And Audra Forbes from Missouri and Charlotte. Um, yes, and happy holidays to you too, Ola Joe. Uh, yeah, right, Freaky Geek. Yeah, she just needs to check that email because it's not the one that I use. And we have Slinky Duck 08. Oh, thank you for your encouragement. Yeah, she says, always love your tutorials. Ah, thank you. I'm glad that they are helping somebody out there. I really am. And Anna, good morning to you. She says it's late afternoon in Sweden. Wow. And Wendy L from the yarn shop in Hagerstown. Wendy, I've got to get out there again. But we made a sudden, turnaround to come for me to come down here to South Carolina to give my daughter Hannah a break. So yeah, I need to get up there again. Maybe after the first of the year, I want to hang out with you just to check up, see how things are going, and maybe do a better interview this time with the microphone turned on. um, oh, thank you. Freaky Geek says hello to all showing up and those lurking while working or traveling. Like or traveling, says like the hit button and change top to live chat. Yeah, you can change the chat that's coming in. It's up on the upper right hand side if you're using a computer. On the phone, I'm not sure where it is at the moment. I'd have to look at it, but yes, and if you want to hit that thumbs up, that really does help this video to go a little bit further and spread some good cheer. um, and Tammy says, I did a holiday market on a train last night. It was so fun. It sold most crocheted items. That sounds like a lot of fun, Tammy. I love trains. Used to travel a lot by train when I was in college. Used to travel by train a lot. Didn't really have a car. A real good. Well, I had a car for a little while, but it was it would not make a made the trip. But yeah, trains are so cool. Um, hey, Sandra, my friend from Georgia, it's good to see you in the chat. She says, hope all is well with everyone. Yeah, that is always our wish. And Jody, she says, good to see you all. Crocheting 4 stockings for my daughter's family this week. Oh, thank you for your sweet comment, Jody. I really appreciate you guys and gals. Um, and Archernay says, let me make sure. Okay, I've got to make sure I have Hannah's text message pulled up. Where was I? Says working on wheat cable scarf with Lion Brand. It's amazing. Oh, my joy, Terry. And just to straighten things out, I wanted to send that to you. Okay, that was nobody asked for anything to be free there. I totally get that, but it just made me a lot happier to send it to you than to sell it to you. So Please know that that was all my fault. um, and Kelly, good morning to you. And Pamela, thank you so much for being with us today and for your kind encouragement. And let's see where we are. I just got a bunch of hold on a second. I just got a bunch of things load, and it just plays with my mind because I just lost my place. Oh, we have Kelly Dye. Good to see you, Kelly. And okay, I think I found where I was now. Okay, and Margita, hello, Margita. And Denise, she says, "Good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone. This is in this beautiful day from Windsor, Ontario, Canada." That makes me feel cold just hearing Canada, because I know it's probably so beautiful this time of the year, probably so cold this time of the year. She says from the good old South. Yeah, we're freezing this morning, guys. It's 54 degrees out. I know it's nice actually. It's very comfortable out here. It is on the cooler side, but it's 54 degrees and the sun is shining. So just seeing the sun more just makes me happy. Uh, you can tell I'm a Florida girl. And yeah, Slinky Duck said, "God bless the truckers." I so agree to that, Slinky Duck. Yes, ma'am. Um, and oh boy, Kelly, I'm sorry you're having so many issues with your family, sweetheart. It's got to be hard. And Brad's mom, good to have you with us. She says, "Good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and all my yarnies from sunny and pleasant Southwest Chicago suburbs. Just got home from running errands." Well, welcome to Friday Fun Live. And Gail says, "Can I get the written instructions for the winter white throw?" Yes, Gail, they're only available from Leisure Arts, since that was actually do I have it with me? No, it's in the other room. That was my first publication ever with Leisure Arts, and many years ago. And they're supposed to be coming back in stock. They're available from them. They're also available It's available as a PDF download. I have some copies at my home in Maryland, but I'm not going to be there till after the first of the year. As many of you know, I do have my Etsy store open, but I'm not selling my physical sign and ship type books until after the holidays, just simply because it's just a lot to travel with, to bring back and forth to carry a book inventory. So it's just easier for me to shut that down. But I'm bringing them back in January, and I do have some copies. If you can wait until then, you can, I will be adding them back, and then you can check on that. But yeah, sorry about that. It's just, just like many of you, we're serving our family, and just have to, you know, make sacrifices. Okay, so Phil is instructing me here on the geography of Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pittston is near Scranton. Okay, yeah, so that's definitely not Pittsburgh then. Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me know that, Phil. I'll have to look that up on a map at some point. Pennsylvania is, for those of you who aren't familiar with, if you're like living out west and not familiar, Pennsylvania is huge. I mean, it borders a lot of different states, and yeah, very big, deep and wide. Um, Lovecraft said no audio. You might want to check your computer settings or something, Lovecraft. I haven't gotten that complaint from anybody else yet. Bonnie L, good to have you from sunny Niagara Falls, New York. She says it's mid 40s today and no wind, so feels good. Oh, yeah, I bet that would. And Norma said, "Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year." You too, Norma. And Sharon, says, "I've been crocheting a lovely overlay crocheting an overlay mosaic blanket for days. I'm ready to start one of your patterns again. Really enjoy your patterns." Oh, thank you, Sharon. It may just be helpful, no matter what you're crocheting, to have a couple of things going at the same time. I know people look at us like, "Why would you do that?" Well, I mean, we're always changing things up during the day, right? You don't do the same thing all the time. Um, and I was traveling down, and I was thinking, I had more crochet stuff than well, definitely a lot more of that than I did clothes to bring down. I had like multiple bags of yarn, and Even placed some yarn, couple yarn orders yesterday because guess what happened to me yesterday or 2 days ago? I knew this could be a possibility, but I was kind of bummed when it happened. I was on the absolute just began the last round of a new throw that will be coming probably in February. And this is a very I love the way this came out. And I know you're probably not supposed to do that. I know the old the proverb that says, let another's lips praise you and not your own. And I try to live by that. But I'm excited about this one. Um, it is an Easter themed throw that's worked in a large square. So I'm real excited about that. There's going to be a lot of meaning built into how I did it and why I use certain stitches and so forth. So I'm really excited about that. But I was on the last round, the absolute last round, and I lost the game of yarn chicken. So I was trying to make it in 20 balls of yarn, but this is looks like it's gonna take 21 balls of yarn. You probably want to order at least 22 just in case your gauge is different. So that'll be coming in February, and I'm not going to do any revealing until I get this thing blocked and completed because I really am excited about it. I've been wanting to do something like this for years, and finally did it, and I'm really happy with the way it came out. So I'm hoping you all will too. And the more I do the blankets where you go around in a square, it's in the round, but it's a square or a rectangle. The more I do them, the more detailed I'm trying to be with those, because I know some of you had trouble with the Celtic mandala throw. I tried to be as clear as I could on that one. But I think a lot of times people who just don't have the minimal skills, they might be a beginner and they try working that. Well, I could have told them that they were going to struggle with it. But anyway, I am trying to be as precise as possible. I'm always learning. If you watch some of my older videos where I kind of didn't know what I was doing, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And yeah, I mean, everything that we do in life has a learning curve. And this is no exception. So anyway, super excited, really bummed I lost yarn chicken game. And for those of you who don't know what yarn chicken is that you just run out of yarn before you should have. But anyway, so the yarn is on the way. It's actually being shipped from Lovecraft, just 2 balls of yarn, and it's coming all the way through Royal Mail from UK. But I'm really glad that it's available now because it was unavailable for the first couple of days when I was checking. All right. Okay. So Josie wants to know, when can we expect the Easter throw? Well, Easter is early this year. I believe it's like in mid-March. So I'm thinking early February. Probably early February, very early February. There's so many things that I have that are going to be ready and I want to release like boom right away. But I know I'm going to have to slowly dribble them out because I don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed. And I like to space things out, because if I blow everything out there at first, then I'm not going to have anything left to cover my bases as the time goes by. So I've got so many things I want to do to release. But anyway, let me go ahead and try to keep up with these comments today, because I usually fall flat on that, and I don't want to do that again. But thanks for that statement, Sharon. Yeah, and I didn't get to the point that I was trying to make with Sharon, and that is, right now I finished up a couple things, but I usually have like at least 3 things going at the same time. And let me show you another thing that I'm going to be doing to break up the monotony. I've been wanting to do another one of these sweaters. This is an out of print book from Knit Picks. So unfortunately it's not being sold. You might see it on eBay. But I made this sweater in brown tones. It was my first knit sweater, and I absolutely loved it. I learned a lot. I loved the experience of it. And so I've been wanting to do this Bistort. Is that how you say it? Anyway, I was wanting to do this sweater for a long time. So, but the problem is the yarn, and one reason why the book went out of print is the yarns are no longer available. Some of them are not. And so what I decided to do is the since the aqua was not available, I just substituted the aqua and the dark green with a navy blue and a and a medium blue instead. So I ordered my wool from Knit Picks so that I'm not going to get bored. And this is going to be something that I am making for me. Kelly was saying that she only crochets for her inventory. That's pretty much what I do. I crochet for my designs. But again, I design things that I want. So in a sense, I'm still designing for me because I do things that I want. But anyway, I'm gonna make another knitted sweater and just to have in case I lose my mojo or my crojo or just yeah, I need a break from something or I'm getting bored with maybe an Afghan that has 5,000 rows or something like that. So yeah, I like to mix it up a little bit, and I'm always going to learn something new. So that's the great thing about for me knitting is I'm relatively a new knitter, maybe 5 to 7 years, and that's it, and that's very lightly. So and I've enjoyed every time I've done a new project. So anyway, so I like to challenge myself a little bit. There's not a lot of different stitches in there. It looks complicated, but it's only knitting in the round and around and around. Not even really purling. It's just mostly knitting the whole time. So really cool. Jeannie, so good to see you in the chat, my friend. Blessings right back at you. And tell your boy, your son and your husband, we send our greetings to them as well. And Lynn, she says, I'm thankful and grateful to be among my crochet family, Sister Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone in the chat. Lynn, thank you so much. You are such a blessing. I can't wait. I'm hoping to be in Chicago at some point next year. So, and we've already been talking about that. Crystal, thank you so much for your kind super chat. Let me go ahead and add that to the kitty um, for our. I have to add this to this now. All right, this is going to be for the Shriners Children's Hospital once we get to that $100 mark. So thank you, thank you, and Love to Craft says the audio got very low on my end. Sometimes the phones, if you're listening on a phone, I've had that setting just for some reason be really kind of wacko at times. The Sometimes I don't even hear it ring, and then other times, it just shakes the earth that it's so loud. So yeah, I get that. And Teresa says, I usually don't get to catch the lives due to work, but I'm home today dealing with vertigo. Oh, that's a bummer. Teresa, so sorry to hear about that. I remember my husband had to cancel a trip to Germany, which was a travel trip for work. He had his tickets and everything, and then that vertigo hit him in the morning, and oh, he was a mess for a few days. So do take care. Do be careful and ask for help if you can, if you've got friends who can help you. Um, and Sandra's recovering from surgery and healing is on its way. I hope your hand is getting better, Sandra. Um, oh wow. So Donna says the baby feet baby blanket was a big success when she gifted it. Thank you so much for the adorable pattern. Oh, my joy, Donna. I kept that original pattern, the original one that I put in the contemporary Celtic crochet book, the one that was photographed and everything. I think I've only made two. I've made that one and I've made maybe another one for the video, and that was it. And I think they've both been gifted, but the first one, the very original one, I gave to my daughter for our first grandson. And then there's another, then when my second grandson was born, 8 days later, I gave them the sailboats popcorn baby blanket for them. So I've kept those blankets for like 12 years, waiting for the day when I could bless them with that. I'm so glad that you're the recipient is help is happy with that, Donna. Um, and Josie wants to know, do I keep most of my designs or do I gift sell them? I bet you have a lot of crocheted goodies around your house. Oh boy. Yes. Very good question, Josie. I have given a lot of them away as special gifts to people, friends, family, church friends, pastors. I don't give a lot of my family crochet things now because, quite frankly, there's not a whole lot I can give them that they'd really be interested in it. It's just not as special when it's just part of your work, I guess. But yeah, I do have quite a bit at home in storage. A lot. I have, like, I've had a lot of hats and scarves and things. Some of them have been donated to women's shelters. There's a women's shelter near our home that I've donated a lot of crocheted things to. Um, I used to have a lot of stock, like Kelly does, for for selling them at craft shows. And once I discovered that I just let's just say I had a bad experience with people driving the price of what I was making down into the dirt to where I couldn't even get the price of the yarn back. I mean, I won't go into all that sob story, but after that happened, I quite literally boxed a lot of it up that I didn't need for promotional purposes for my channel. I A lot of the hats and scarves and things and shawls and things I just boxed them up and I donated them to my local women's shelter. I've sent them in boxes to people who maybe need them for a ministry of some sort. I do sell some of the original, the nicer things. I have sold them on my channel. Um, I did a flash sale like about a couple years ago and boxed up a lot of stuff and sold to people and offered them, I think, for reasonable prices, like the price of the yarn plus a little bit more. I didn't sell them as, Gucci originals or something like that. Just wanted to be a blessing to people who were interested. So yeah, but I do keep a lot on hand because some I absolutely love to wear and some I have worn out and I've worn them and washed them so much that they're looking a little ragged. But that's a great question. I know some designers who keep everything they make. My house is not that big. I mean, I love my home, but I don't want to fill it up with old things because I always feel like the next thing is going to be better. So yeah, so I have give okay. Anyway, hope that answers the question. Yeah, I probably went on too long about that. From Chelsea, do any of your kids crochet? And if so, how old were they and when did they start? Okay, great question. Um, Two of my kids know how to crochet. Um, let's see, my daughter Becky, she's my firstborn. She learned to crochet when she was older, but it was only on the second attempt. She did learn to crochet when she was like 8 or 9. I think she was interested in what I was doing. And then she learned that, okay, I've had enough of this. And then she moved on. But then somewhere in high school, she got interested in it again. When we did homeschool for all through, so we were together a lot. So she picked it up again, really enjoyed it. Went to a Crochet Guild of America or CGOA conference with me, and we had a blast. And she, dove into everything. Was a model for the fashion show, and Hannah has done that too at a Crochet Guild conference. We've always had fun with this, but so she learned to crochet. Becky learned to crochet rather well. And she actually has designed some things for publication. And if you've ever remember the older Red Heart yarn Super Saver skeins that had a picture of a gal with a hat, an easy to crochet hat on the cover, that's actually Becky's design that she sold to Red Heart Yarns when she attended a conference many years ago. So, and currently we are the two of us are working on designing designs for mommy and baby. We're looking at practical things, not just decor, decorative, take a picture and then you're done with it, but things that would really serve a baby and a new mom. So she's somewhat into the designing as well. My son Joseph, who's my youngest, learned how to crochet. He's one of these quick learners, likes to learn a bunch of things and then move on. And he crocheted a scarf for himself that he wore for years. He probably still has it. He learned how to crochet a sock. He crocheted one sock and then got bored with it and then moved on. So so yeah, but those that's pretty much the beginning and the end of the interest in my family. Um, Kelly wants to know, have you ever crocheted a dog blanket? And what are you doing for Christmas? I have not crocheted a dog blanket specifically, but I have given a smaller baby blanket to my daughter for her kitty cat. And the cat loves this blanket. It's this poly microfiber, very soft kind of yarn, and the cat just loves to rub all over it. Um, so yeah, but it's again, it's not cat or dog specific. And what am I doing for Christmas? I'm going to be with family in the Carolinas and getting hopefully being able to hold little babies again. So I'm so excited. Well, let me go ahead and give you guys some interesting information here. I haven't shown you anything yet. I don't know if this is going to be available Monday. I'm waiting to hear back from Cascade Yarns. Many of you may remember a hat with the French name, cercle de tresse beret. It's or circle of braids. This is actually on my channel now, but it's made with an older line of yarn that they no longer carry called Boliviana. So what I've done is we've changed up the yarn. The video with this on my channel has a link for a free pattern that no longer works. And it's because the yarn is not available. So Cascade Yarns took it down. And so I kind of asked them, well, why don't we just do new yarn and you can put that back up. So, but anyway, I went ahead and made a brand new video and let me show you the yarn that I used. And I was really surprised by this yarn. I really enjoyed this yarn a lot. This is Cascade Yarns, Cascade 220 Heather. This is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, which you would think, oh, that's got to be scratchy, right? Well, it's wool, but it's softer than you would think. But what I love about it, I don't know if you could even see it if I hold this up, but you can see little flecks of other colors in the wool, and that's the beauty of working with natural fibers. So if you've only ever worked with acrylics, and I'm not knocking acrylics, I just finished an acrylic throw with 3,000-4,000 yards. I use acrylic too. I'm not knocking it, but there is something extra special about working with wool, especially non-superwash wool, just regular wool. It just takes the color and the dye in such a beautiful way. So anyway, so this is a beret and this is the inside. I don't know if I can do this right, but I'll try to put this on for you. These can be a lot of fun to wear. Um, and you can pull it down over your ears too and keep you very warm. It looks kind of like a shower curtain. I like to wear more off to the side. But anyway, I need a minute to play with it to get it right. But anyway, these fit a wide variety of sizes. The sizing is just for an adult, but you could probably play with this and just make it smaller if you were looking for a child's size. But anyway, this is going to be coming soon. An absolutely free pattern from courtesy of Cascade Yarns, just because they paid me to design this, which is why it can be made available for free. I used 2 hanks of this. I had to dip into the second one just for a few rounds. Unfortunately, I couldn't confine it to just one, But if you have yarn in your yarn stash that you want to use, you can substitute anything you want, of course. And it took me about 240 yards. So if you got, a super saver or something like that hanging around, 240 yards will get you there. Okay. Some other updates. Super excited about this one. I have been in conversation with Vimeo over the years. This is the Watch Channel platform, which is my paid subscriber channel. They now have speed control on the videos. Yay! So what does that mean? And what I'm about to say for the speed control on the Vimeo also applies to YouTube. If you are watching from a computer or maybe a tablet, if you stop the video and you look at the bottom, you'll see little gadgets down there, and you'll see a little circle that looks like a sprocket or a gear. If you click on that, it'll bring up a playback speed menu, or you can pick from the menu playback speed, and then you click on that, and then you can click a slower playback speed. So if you find that I'm doing stitches on the tutorials and you're like, oh, she's going way too fast. Why does she go so fast? Please, you can slow me down. You can slow it way down so that you can see what's happening. If you're bored to tears, and this goes for my videos and all the other millions of videos on YouTube, if you're bored and they're talking too slowly, you can click a faster speed and speed it up. So that is now available. Big, big deal for me on the Watch channel. So all my videos, whether you're watching me on YouTube or on my paid subscriber channel, which by the way has additional videos that don't appear here. And there are also a lot of complementary patterns that you can just download. And let me speak into that a minute. I did a lot of crunching of the numbers and stats a couple days ago. Just one of those things you do when you're away from home and you're missing your sweetheart. But anyway, the price of the channel is $6.95 per month, which is about the cost of going through the Starbucks. I mean, I don't know. I don't assume everybody drinks Starbucks. I don't even drink coffee, but the Starbucks coffee place. Okay, it's like the price of a cup of coffee or two. And that's for the entire month. And you'll be getting, as new patterns are designed, the complementary patterns will be there for you. Again, plus there is already a library of other patterns available. Okay, the cost per year, which is at a discount, is $69.50. So I was wondering about that because I thought, well, I wonder how much the patterns are worth. Not all the patterns. I didn't have time to calculate all the patterns on there because there are, I want to say hundreds, but just the patterns that were brand new and released in 2023, if you were to buy them from my Lovecraft store, the value of that alone is $131.76. Okay. And what's the value of not having your viewing tracked and shared with everybody? That's priceless, right? There are no ads on this channel. There's no spam. There's no pop-ups. There's no boxes. There's nothing to get you distracted from what you're there to do. So that was just one thing that my family wanted. We wanted something that was just a clean, easy way to watch the videos, and we wanted to be able to serve. There are also other perks on there, a couple of 2 or 3, I think, crochet classes that I teach at national conferences, but they're there for you to pause and take as long as you want. You're not limited to 3 hours. Yeah. And I'm trying to do this twice a month now. We're having Zoom Watch Channel Hangouts to where just the Zoom subscribers, those who want to join us, we just hang out together and talk. I'm going to be having another one. I will be in touch with you guys. I have a separate newsletter listing for my Watch Channel subscribers, so you will be notified about when and the link and so forth. But a couple of the topics that we're going to be just talking back and forth with each other about are going to be crocheted sweaters. We're going to be talking about those. and we're going to be talking about yarn. Just try to answer all your yarn questions, and but in a friendly, exchanged way. All right. So now Hannah's sending me. Ooh. Um. Oh, that's your pattern, right, Hannah? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see. So Hannah's sending me a picture of a beanie that a beret that she's been wearing for years that I made her. Yeah, that was a really easy one to make too. I should do a pattern for that. I should do that. I should do a video for that one, Hannah, because that's a very easy one. Um, and Anna wants to know, did you try alpaca that is not the finest baby kind? And if you did, was it itchy? Looking at yarns online, so that's why I'm asking. Um, Yeah, I think if you get well, it's really hard to say because there are different qualities of yarn. You can have alpaca that's itchy. It really depends on, the animal because, animals' fur uh, differ quite a bit from breed to breed, and even, some alpacas fur is just nicer than others. Baby alpaca does tend to be less itchy, but saying that, there are still different breeds of alpaca, and so and depending on where they're raised, whether the alpaca is coming from South America, from the mountains of South America, Peru, or if it's coming, from somewhere in the United States. I mean, it does vary quite a bit. So that's why I like to let my fingers do the discovery, but I understand if you can't do that when you're ordering online. I found Cascade Yarns pure alpaca to be really, really consistent, really, really nice. It's a nice luxury to use. Um, yeah, and also be aware that sometimes alpaca is blended with other materials. Like I tried the Lion brand. Um, it's called Simply Alpaca. I don't know what it's the alpaca, but it's mostly acrylic with a little bit of alpaca. I used that for one of my throws online, and I wanted to try it out. That's why I picked that, but I didn't know what it felt like before I started using it. It's called a touch of alpaca, and I didn't find that to be very soft, to be honest with you. I mean, it was fine. It was beautiful. It worked up lovely. But would I spend the extra expense to do that again? Nah. I mean, actually, it was comp yarn, so I didn't have to pay for that. So I thought, "Oh, let's try that." I would, if I'm paying for it out of my own pocket, I would probably be just as happy with the paint box yarns from from Love Crafts. Sorry, brain derailment there. All right, so I am woefully behind here. Um, Oh, Josie, I'm sorry to hear about you got surgery coming up. From joining us from sunny Northern California. Says hope everyone is well. Be missing next Fridays because I have surgery. Could use some extra prayers to help me through it, if that's okay. Yes, I'm gonna have to write that down on my. Let me do that. Hannah, could you make a note for me to write Josie down for my prayer list? If you could make a note of it and tell me afterwards, I would remember it better that way. Um, yeah, Freaky Geek, thanks for encouraging her. I hope it goes well. Um, been under the knife so many times in my life. I know the feeling of apprehension going into it, but in my case, it always turned out to be for a really good change. So I hope that's the case for you, and that whatever's the issue is, that you heal well. Okay, that's fine, Hannah. That's fine there. All right. And we have Rosie in the chat. She says, "Oh, she's having surgery on her knee. Can you make a note of that, Rosie? Knee surgery? Oh my goodness. I will pray for you ladies this week." Um, and Swati, she's gonna miss too, taking her mom to the doctor, and then she has one. Well, Swati, you are already on our prayer list, my friend. Hope you and your mom, do well. Um, and Rosie and Josie. Wow. Uh, yeah, Hannah's talking about how sometimes she feels so helpless trying to help Miss my mother-in-law and yeah, her grandmother. Yeah, yeah. I had to take her for a procedure this week, so yeah, it's tough on the body. Um, let's see. I'm just looking to see here who else is in the chat. Cassandra from Florida. Yay. 23 years old and been crocheting since I could hold a hook. Oh, Cassandra, that is so great. I don't know if you know, but I was born and raised in South Florida, in Hialeah, and I miss it. I miss the guava pastries. I miss the sunshine. I miss the warm weather when it turns February in Maryland. I need to get down there at some point. I just since all my family moved away from there, it's just been hard to have a good excuse, but I need to just go. But welcome to our chat, and I am so encouraged to find someone from your generation who's put down your phone long enough to pick up a hook. I'm not trying to categorize you in that group, but I'm just saying it's great when people can put down their electronics long enough. She says that she's broadcasting live through electronics, but you know what I mean. But I am so glad to hear that the younger folks are out there. And Cassandra, if you ever get a chance to go to a crochet conference or a fiber conference or anything like that, try. I hope you can, because you'll find that there are a lot of younger people out there into these fiber arts. It's amazing to be doing this now, because I believe I haven't heard other people talk about this, but I believe we're in a renaissance of the fiber arts, as a result of online YouTube and places like that. I think it's just made these crafts available to people in a way that it's never been available before. And the internet, of course, has made amazing yarns available that I didn't even know existed um, 20 years ago. So yeah, welcome to our community, Cassandra. And uh yeah, Teresa, I hope things go well with you there, my friend. All right. Oh, Josie, you're so welcome. And Maureen from Northern Italy. Ooh, welcome. I so enjoyed traveling through Italy back in 2022. It's been over a year now since we were there, but we drove all through from Rome all the way up through Venice and then north onto Slovenia and Austria. It was pretty amazing. My husband really enjoyed the car rental too. um, anyway, let's see. Freaky Geek, I guess, talking about ads, saying, I don't mind an ad at the start or at the end of the video, but every 5 minutes or so is just wrong. Yeah. Well, just to let you know, you might have had a video at the beginning. I don't know if you did or not with the live, but I I do have the ability to on the lives, at least when I set this up, to put um, ads every so often, and then I just check the box that says put them in manually. And so, you know how many I put in manually? Zero. Because I know how irritating it is to be in the middle of something, but on the other hand, those ads do serve a purpose. They do help keep creators like me um being giving us income so that we can do this full time and not have to just do it, after hours, after working outside. So it is a blessing to many of us, and it does yeah, it does generate income. So it's kind of the good and the bad and the ugly. But on the other hand, this is just the way things work. It can be really hard to do all that I do for no income. So thank you guys for understanding that. But just to let you know, I did not put any in for this. So if they are being put in, it's the algorithm. It's not me. But that's another reason why I wanted the watch channel to be spamless and ad free as much as possible. Um, yeah, yeah. And Sabina's, saying, that it can be really annoying on tutorials. Yeah, when you're learning something, yeah, it's not. It's one thing to be entertained, but it's another to be concentrating on the stitch, especially some of my cables, which I know kind of either alienate people sometimes, but yeah, if you're right in the middle of that, yeah, it's kind of hard. Oh, Ed and Maggie McAllister, thank you for your support. They say they love the watch channel. I'm trying to back up here. I'm afraid I might have missed some people. Um, oh, I am getting so far behind here, guys. I'm gonna have to go back. I'll see if I can catch up, but I do want to get through some other interesting things. Um, if you haven't already, please sign up for my newsletter. It is free, and a lot of the updates that I talk about, you can read through it in about 2 minutes. If you'd rather just read through it instead of just join our chat time. Um, I have fewer than it's like maybe 1% of my subscriber base here is actually signed up for the newsletter. And you're going to want to sign up. And the way you do that is you go to my website, Bonnie Bay at bonniebay.com. You can go there and it's on the front, the first thing you'll see on the homepage, and you just scroll down and then you have information you need to put in. I just am not allowed to send those out. I don't spam people. I only send them to people who ask to be put on the list. And just to let you know, I never have, and nor do I have any plans to ever sell my address listings from the newsletter to anybody. And I've had people offer me pretty good money for some of this, but it's like, nope, not going to do it. And I treasure my privacy, and I want to honor yours as well. So just to let you know, and I send that out roughly once a week. I didn't send one out this week because I've been transitioning from place to place. Um, but I'm going to have a lot of good announcements you're going to want to see when I send the next one out if you've not signed up for that already. And here's one of them. I'm going to be offering beginning knitting for crocheters through Zoom in January. I'm going to be teaching two classes. Let me try to explain what I'm doing here. These are going to be for purchase. Let me get settled. Here we go. These are for purchase. It's going to be a 2-day class. And what I'm going to do, like one of the classes is going to be in the daytime on January 9th and the 16th. So if you sign up for that one, you'll get 2 sessions, but it is one class, if that makes sense. So you'll have to come to class 2 times. And the reason I'm doing that, and each of those classes is going to be a 2-hour session during the day from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. The Eastern time is really important because some of you are out west. And if you try seeing this at 2 o'clock, you would have missed it. So the first is going to be for people who can take the class during the daytime, January. You need to check your calendar. This is a Tuesday afternoon, January 9th and 16th. Okay. So if you sign up for the class, I am asking the price for the class for everybody is going to be $55. But for my watch subscribers, I will be sending you a coupon code where you can sign up for the class for $45. It's a $10 discount. So, and then again, that's knitting for crocheters via Zoom. I'm going to be covering this again in the newsletter, and I'll send this out. But when I offer these classes, I'm going to offer them first to my watch subscribers, and then the seats that are available after that, I will offer publicly. So just know that. I'm limiting each class to 15 people. That's even a big class, but no more than 15 people in the class. And then the second version of this. It's the same class. I'm going to be offering January 11th and 18th. And this is going to be in the evening from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, um, and again, the price the same, $55 for um, either of those, $45 for my watch subs, but you need to make sure when you sign up with the code that I'm going to give you. Or I may just, yeah. So I'm going to offer that to my watch subs very soon. And then I will let you all know, those who are not watch subscribers, just how many seats are left. And then those will go for 55. Um, and the main difference that I do with this particular knitting class is we use very big needles. First of all, we use circular knitting needles. And why do I do that? These feel so much like a crochet hook. Your muscle memory pretty much transfers from crochet to knit. And what else will you need besides a pair? And this is, I believe, this is like 24-inch. And I didn't know this when I started knitting. So, and how do you know how long it is? And it really doesn't matter. You can have a longer one to do the class, but you measure from tip of one needle to the tip of the other. So that's about 24 inches, but which is really a small set. And as far as yarn goes, I'll show you what I have. Um, I highly recommend that you have a yarn weight that's a number 6, which is a super bulky. This is super, simply super chunky yarns. This is 100% acrylic. This will work for the class, but I really recommend if you can afford to get a number 6 weight that's 100% wool just for the class, I think you'll appreciate it. And the main reason is the acrylic doesn't stretch much. Wool has more elasticity, which allows for the needles to go into the loops. It just makes it easier for a beginner. But if all that you have is the acrylic, we can make do with that. But I just want you to have the best experience possible. Okay, so anyway, so I'll be sending information out in my next newsletter about that. So anybody interested in that, I'm probably going to offer another class in February on crochet cables. But before I talk, I'm not going to talk about that today, but let me explain why I'm doing it in two-hour sessions. When I've taught these classes at national conferences, and I have taught this one and a couple times, and I loved it. And I've taught it on Zoom as well. And I taught it this way on Zoom with 2 classes, because when you're in an in-person class, you have 3 hours, or unless you're taking an all-day 6-hour class, which is like torturous, a marathon for everybody. If you take a 3-hour class, the time goes by very quickly, and you may or may not pick up all the skills that you want and need in that 3-hour period, and then the class is done. This way, at least, I'm spreading them out a week apart, because this way you have the instruction time of 2 hours, which I think is enough to get you started. And then you have a week to play with the yarn, to fight with the yarn or whatever, and to get a bunch of questions. So then the next time we get together, it's kind of a cleanup. It's kind of finish what we didn't cover, review what we need to review for people who just didn't get it the first time, and answer any questions that are left over. So that way, you get a chance to you kind of pick up the pieces if things kind of fall apart in the first class. If that makes sense. So it's just a chance to bring your questions and to review. So I like having, the time in between, and just being able to come back and, and do that. So that's my mindset for that. Now, if people can't sign up for 2 in that way, I'll see. So I will also ask people to evaluate this method once we get done. Yeah, Deborah wants to know, when I travel by airplane, do I bring my crochet on a plane? Oh, absolutely. I bring, let me show you. Do I have it in here? Yeah, this is always in my backpack, and I've got lots of stuff in here. Lots, all my hooks, and I've got a sharp needle here, and let me show you. Now, this may not apply to, I mean, if you're traveling to very restrictive parts of the world, it might be different. I usually have a couple pairs of these in here as well. As long as the blade part is less than 4 inches, it's TSA approved. Okay. Now, if you end up going through an airport somewhere in a, maybe in a communist nation or a place where they're a lot more restrictive, I don't know what to tell you, but I have traveled to many places outside the country, and I take the whole kit and caboodle with me. And yeah, so definitely. Um, and Josie wants to know if I have a recommendation for a number 6 wool yarn. I honestly, I don't know. What you could do is go to your local yarn store and just see what they have, and ask them for a recommendation. Tell them you're a beginning knitter, and just see what they have. The first hat that I ever made, I think I paid a lot of money for the yarn. I think I paid like $25 or more for the hank of yarn. It was very thick wool, very nice wool. I still have the hat. I love the hat. It's the first, it's very big, but I still love it, and I will wear it if I need to. Um, and that I But if you don't want to spend that much, you can get the acrylic. But the reason I would say spend a little bit more is just because it's just easier because of the elasticity of the yarn. Definitely don't want to go with cotton. Cotton to me is the hardest to knit because there's no give whatsoever to it. Um, Okay, so Josie says, so it's a 2 hour session for the price of 55 or 45 for watch members. Yes. Yeah, it's not for 55 per session. No, no, it's for the entire class. Each class has 2 sessions, okay? Or 2 days worth. So it's a total of 4 hours for 55 for the public, 45 for the watch subscribers. So yeah. So thanks for asking me to clarify. And I'm already after 2. Oh my goodness. Well, I had some really fun stats to share with you. I'm wondering if I should save it for next week. Um, I wanted to tell you that I had, as a crocheter, you always want your posts to do well on social media. It's a lot of fun, especially if it's a paid pattern, right? Um, but it's kind of funny the things that I get that go viral. If you'd even call it viral, it's not in the millions. But I took a picture of my car, inside my car, when I was traveling south this last time. I've done this in the past before, but it got picked up a lot this time. I just took a picture of what's traditionally the cup holders on cars, little cavernous place where you put your drink. But I just put something in there to the effect of how kind it was of car manufacturers to put yarn holders in all their vehicles, and a picture of my cake of yarn like this, which is a little bit smaller than this one, and then just sat very cozily into the drink holder. And so I didn't think that much of it, but within the past week, I have now 6.9 thousand likes, 258 comments, and this is the big number, 580 shares. I mean, of all posts, that's the one thing I should have watermarked with Bonnie Bay Crochet, but I didn't. But anyway, I thought that was just hilarious. The little fun stuff that goes crazy on there. I do have some other stats for you. I calculate, and I'll put this in my newsletter. I calculated the total yardage of all of the 2023 designs that I released on my YouTube channel, and including this one that will be coming probably before the end of the year. I added up, actually crocheted, and this does not that were duds that didn't make it, or the ones that I ripped out totally, or the swatching and extra, or the teaching crochet that I taught at the conferences for, the probably the like 40 hours of teach conference hours that I taught, probably more than 40 hours this year. But anyway, none of that counted in this. It ended up being 46,001 yard. That breaks down to 130,003 feet of yarn. 138,000 feet of yarn. Wow. And that boils down to a marathon, 21 point, almost a marathon, 26.1 miles of yarn. So, as they would say, Houston, we have a problem, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking about a T-shirt that says "I crochet marathons." What do you think of that? You know how people like to, and some of you may be part of this. I'm just teasing you, but you know how people put their little 13.1 or 26.2s, like I'm a marathon runner, or I run half marathons or whatever. Well, I'm not going to be ever putting that on my car, because if I did, it would be a lie. But I could say I crochet marathons. And I know some of you out there who crochet more than I do. That would, I don't know if that resonates with anybody out there or not, but I just thought that was a lot. I'm almost done, guys. I do have a quick crochet gifts link in the video description if you're looking for last minute gifts. And I'll have to give you a sneak peek. I meant to wear this more for this, but I got to talking. I have a new design coming out in 2024 that's going to teach you how to do my new cable. That's coming in 2024. And I'm going to be calling this Dreams of Lothlorien. Okay. And so this is what I've been working on for a while. And I believe this can be for a girl or a guy. And I'm going to try to talk my son-in-law. Don't tell him I said that, Hannah. I'm going to try to talk him into modeling this for me, because he's such a huge Lord of the Rings fan. But it is, oh my goodness, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed working on it. It was kind of, the short rows are after you've been working on multiple sweaters to just do a scarf, but the short row after working on Afghans with, something with less than 100 stitches in a row was just a dream for me. But you can use any yarn, of course, that you want. You can make this any length that you want, as always. But I used 3 hanks of my friend's yarn that's Banshee fibers. Okay, this is not the cheap gifts you make for all your friends. I promise. This is if you make one of these for somebody, it's because you really love them. The yarn is not cheap. I'll just say that it's fingering weight. Do I have any left over? No, I don't. Fingering weight yarn. It's the Merino Yak Silk blend, which is my, I think, all-time favorite when it comes to sweaters and scarves and things. It just feels good against the skin. It's sturdy, and I just love the way it takes the dye. So anyway, this is coming early in January. So I have a lot of stuff coming. January, February are going to be very busy months for my channel. So be on the lookout for Dreams of Lothlorien. And again, this took 3 or approximately 1,200 yards. So yeah. All right, so let me just make sure I haven't missed anybody here. I'm going to have to look at the conversation a little bit later, but Hannah is such a great gift to me, giving me your questions so that I can answer those right away. And we have the word that I can't pronounce with Barbie in the chat. So good to see you. 4 degrees here, and the dark days of winter, perfect for Christmas lights. Wow, 4 degrees. Yeah, that makes me think of my pipes, so that worrying about them freezing. Yeah, Freaky Geek's talking about the ads, saying doesn't mind one at the beginning, but every 5 minutes is just, yeah. And if someone's doing that with their videos, I would contact the creator and just let them know that that's happening. And they may not even know that that's happening. Let them know that you're not pleased, and maybe they can adjust it. I know I can go in and adjust if I need to. All right, so we have All right. All right. I think I said hi to Maureen, but just in case I didn't, hi Maureen from Northern Italy. I do remember somebody else from Northern Italy. I don't know if I'm reviewing or if there's somebody new. And Jacqueline, so great to have you. Um, and all right. And then Felicia, thank you for your prayers for our crochet friends. That is so huge. And Mrs. Debbie LW, so glad that you can join us. She's saying she's late. I'm so late getting to everything. Um, oh, thank you, Ruth. Um, Kelly wants to know where she can get the crochet. I have no idea, Kelly. I picked this up at the Frederick Fiber Festival many years ago. So I really don't know. I'm thinking 5 or 6 years ago. I just love it. This is, and if I ever see this lady stand again, I'm going to get a couple more. I think they're just fabulous. They're handmade by her, and I best thing I ever bought. But I'm sorry, Kelly. But if you know somebody that sews, they might be able to make something like that. Who's really good with the sewing machine and using batting and such. All right. Well, we have red canary. Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow. Thanks, Phil. A mathematician says 46,000 yards breaks down to 126 yards a day. Yeah, that's not much at all, is it? And I do not crochet every day, but yeah, but when I do crochet, it's usually for quite a long time, and definitely more in the winter than in the summertime. Uh, but I do crochet all summer. Oh, wow. That would work, Wendy. Wendy from the yarn shop in Hagerstown says they have a nice Debbie Bliss merino with a little bit of alpaca, 87 yards. I'm guessing it's the super chunky for 16 bucks. That works. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to spend, I mean, the thing is, if you're going to spend $55 for a class, we want to spend a little bit more for good yarn, right? Um, uh, Okay. And Beach Girl, she says, in case I'm not here next week, I hope y'all have a blessed Christmas. Well, you too, Beach Girl. Let's see. Next Friday, I'm planning on being here Friday. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm hoping to be here Friday, but I hope you do well. Ruth says, I gave my sewing machine to my daughter-in-law, which was a dumb thing to do. Yeah, well, if it just sits in the closet, yeah, maybe you can ask her if you can borrow it back. All right. Well, it is way past the bewitching hour here. I've held Hannah and I've held you guys up way too long, but thank you for hanging with me. If I missed your comment, I'm so sorry. I tried to greet everybody. Um, oh, we have a Rita in the chat. I didn't see your name before, Rita. So I use Wool Ease Thick and Quick, but if you need a number 6 wool free or try Lion Brand homespun. Yeah, just something nice and thick that has a little bit of give to it is basically if you're taking the class. Um, so anyway, oh, thank you, Brad's mom. Love your visits. I love having you guys here. I don't want to say goodbye, but I'm going to go ahead and I want to read for you, another one of my favorite Christmas carols. I like to read them because we hear them sung so often, and a lot of times we miss the words. So I'm going to read, and I'm reading out of a very old hymnal I found in Grandma's office right here. I um, I love this song. It's by Charles Wesley, and the music is by Felix Mendelssohn. You may have heard of him. And it's Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. That's the best line right there. God and sinners reconciled. Joyful, all you nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With the angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ by highest heaven adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time, behold him come, offspring of a virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh, the Godhead see. Hail the incarnate deity, pleased as man with men to dwell. Jesus, our Emmanuel. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Hail the heaven-born Prince of Peace. Hail the Son of Righteousness. Light and life to all he brings, risen with healing in his wings. That's why we have Easter. Mild he lays his glory by, born that man no more may die. Born to raise the sons of earth, born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Mm. Well, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I just love the words of that. Heard a teaching and Sunday school this past Sunday. That was so excellent by Duncan Hannah, and he taught or just mentioned how you're familiar with the song "The Little Drummer Boy," and it's a great story. But it actually is born out of some truth in that it was tradition back in the day to welcome a new baby, a new birth with music, with musicians playing music, to celebrate with the family. Whew. Jesus' birth. He didn't just, I mean, the story of the drummer boy is nice. But he had a heavenly host of angels, which, according to the scriptures, scared the heck out of a lot of shepherds in a nearby field. So he had the best music of all, which is so amazing. So anyway, and on that note, I'm just going to say, if I don't get to see you all next week, or if you can't join us, I just want to wish you again a happy Hanukkah and a Merry Christmas to you, and hope to see you here next week. And we'll talk some more about yarn and everything. Well, God bless. Bye-bye.